Them on both sides, as right now the Broncos are holding to a 6-point lead in the third quarter.
This is the drive for the Atlanta Falcons too. They only trail by 6 points, and to get back in this ball game, they got to drive the length of the field as best they possibly can. Time of possession for Denver 22 minutes, and for the Atlanta Falcons just 17 minutes.
Now let's see what Bartkowski and the offense does. They go 1st and 10 from their 36. Gerald Riggs, the power back, takes a lot of Broncos downfield with him as he gets across the 40. Report just in from Cincinnati. Boomer Esiason, the second-year quarterback from Maryland, just threw to Stanford Jennings. 11-yard touchdown pass, and the Bengals, who've yet to win this year, have gone in front of San Diego 34-27. That's still in the third quarter. So they're going for 90 points in that game, going for bonus. 2nd and 4. Riggs again. He's tough. He's got a first down.
This is going to be an interesting drive by the Atlanta Falcons with the ability of Gerald Riggs to run the football. I would think this would be a very conservative drive by the Atlanta Falcons. Throw high percentage passes. Got to keep the drive alive. And a touchdown and an extra point puts them ahead of the much favored Denver Broncos.
Gerald Riggs has run the ball a lot from 17 times. He's gained 45 yards, scored 1 touchdown. Falcons trailing by 6 in the third quarter. 4:36 to play in it. Bartkowski looking for the home run. Great defensive play by guys made him for a lot of years. Louis Wright, for 11 years, has been doing that. That was as clean as it could be. A perfectly timed hit.
Still plays like it's about his second year. Play action, fake to Riggs. Holds the linebacker at the line of scrimmage. See 31 Harden bites on it. And Louis Wright, great body control. What an athlete that kid is.
Mr. Wright, they call him in Denver. 4 times a Pro Bowler from San Jose State. Bartkowski has now put it up 17 times. He's completed 9 for 129 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. 2nd down and 10 now for the Falcons. Joe Washington still so very quick. Look at that move as Joe Washington rockets across and inside the 45-yard line of the Broncos. Chavis knocked him down.
These Atlanta Falcons have 2 players in Joe Washington and also in Billy White Shoes Johnson, who have undergone serious reconstructive surgery on their knee. Neither appears to be bothered by their legs. That was a great run by Joe Washington. Brings up 3rd down and short in a very crucial drive for the Atlanta Falcons.
Atlanta has completed or been successful on 4 of 9 previous 3rd down conversion attempts. They have one now, 3rd down and 1. Riggs doesn't get it. Bartkowski's looking. He gets it from Woodard. Does get the ball away. A great play by linebacker Ken Woodard. They're going to rule it a sack as the Falcons look to burn the Bronco defense on 3rd and short. And Woodard came on a blitz and got Steve Bartkowski. Woodard has played a tremendous game at outside linebacker for the Broncos.
Came almost untouched. The 3rd sack by the Denver Broncos from the right-hand side of the screen. You see that defense of the Broncos set up from the left-hand side of the screen. Woodard untouched, there to get to Bartkowski, able to hang on. And, of course, even though he throws it away, the officials rule he's in the grasp. Therefore, another sack. And Denver's making sure that the officials call the sack.
So the punter is back out now for Atlanta. Rick Donnelly, rookie punter from Wyoming, ready to kick the ball. Lots of fans watching Rick and Laramie. As now the snap and the hit, very good. Donnelly unloads the ball. Willite takes it. They're catching the ball at the 17-yard line. There the Broncos go back on offense after a 38-yard punt, 1st and 10. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Atlanta Falcons and the National Football League is prohibited.
The Atlanta Falcons have won the field position battle in the second half. Denver's not been able to move the ball very much so far.
Steve Watson coming out on the right flank now. John Elway working with 2 running backs and his tight end. Kay is set to the right. Not much there for Sammy Winder, but a lot of white shirts as the Falcon defense playing very spirited football. Again, fills the gap to make the knockdown after very little gain, perhaps none at all.
All day long, this Atlanta Falcons defensive line has done an excellent job. Once again, against a four-man front, the Denver Broncos tried the trap. Filled well by Rick Bryan, 77 there to make the tackle.
Here's Rick Bryan coming out of the game for the moment. Relentless defensive end. They say he's never satisfied with his performance.
Defensive Rookie of the Year in the NFL last year.
Right now, Elway sets his team 2nd down and 10 at the 20. Broncos lead in the third quarter by 6. Again, almost gets him. Elway runs away from it. There might be a holding call against the Broncos on this play as the pass is broken up at the 44-yard line. Somebody peeled back to try to help Elway, and they knocked down Gann from behind. Could be a clip.
Holding. Denver. Second time a big penalty like that has hurt Denver. Clarence Kay was the intended receiver. He waited for the ball to get there instead of going back for the football. This will be a 15-yarder against the Denver Broncos again.
I'll tell you, Bob, you can't count the number of sacks that John Elway has avoided with his great foot speed.
I'm very surprised at the pressure the Falcons have been able to put on him.
Holding, number 74 on the offense. Half the distance to the goal, still 2nd down.
Winfred Hood replacing Keith Bishop.
Winfred, back home in Georgia, went to the University of Georgia, grew up in Atlanta. Didn't want the home folks to hear his name called that way, though.
No.
Denver's now been penalized 6 times in the game for 36 yards. Atlanta with 3 penalties for 41. But the Broncos, holding to a 6-point lead with 2 minutes to play in the third quarter, have a problem here. They go to the run. Lang working with the ball, and he doesn't get far. And so again, the Falcons defense comes up and stops the run, and now John Elway will go with 3rd and 19.
Scott Case on the tackle for the Atlanta Falcons. That's a play that an awful lot of football fans in Denver will say, wait a minute, what are you doing here? 3rd down and 20, and you run a draw. Actually, the idea is a very good idea if it works. You're going to try to pick up half of the yardage. You're not looking for a 20-yard play. You're looking for a 10-yard play. And what you hope is by spreading the defense and getting the defensive linemen in the pass rush mode that they're going to be up the field so quickly that the delay, the draw runs by them. Didn't work that time.
Not at all. Falcons stuffed it. Elway from the shotgun gives off on the run. And here comes Vance Johnson running the ball, but again, the Falcons are there to defend it. Johnson, the fastest player on the field, who was a running back in college at Arizona, trying to turn the corner. Bobby Butler, a veteran cornerback, comes up to knock him out of bounds. So this time, Broncos will be punting the ball and probably from very close to their end zone.
Questionable call. Sometimes the computer printout confuses a head coach or the guy calling the plays. With an arm like John Elway, I think I'd still take a chance of throwing it down the field. That reverse did not work.
We'll take a look at the scoreboard and how things have changed after this punt. Chris Norman, second-year kicker from South Carolina, ready to hit the ball.
They're booing him because he's from South Carolina. Georgians don't like South Carolinians.
Well, they've been cheering for that punt. It was a short one in white shoes. Johnson breaks it up the middle down to the 39-yard line. So the Falcons get the ball, a 31-yard punt by Norman and a 6-yard return.
One of the things a punt returner must be is absolutely fearless. And Billy White Shoes Johnson, throughout his career, had all kinds of guts to stand there and take the abuse. Roger Jackson on the initial hit for the Denver Broncos. Great field position for the Atlanta Falcons.
Pokes laying waste to the Browns at Irving, Texas today. Dallas 20, Cleveland nothing now in the fourth quarter. Houston doing the same, or getting the same from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers now leading at 20-0 in the third quarter at Pittsburgh. Bartkowski on 1st and 10, throws and gets his man. Moving outside is Charlie Brown, and he's going to be down inside the 10-yard line.
24 yards on the catch. On the inability of the Denver Bronco offense in the latter stages of this quarter to move the ball have allowed the Atlanta Falcons to stay in this game. Great field position. This is a good play-action fake. Bartkowski waits for Charlie Brown to square in. A lot of room in front of Louis Wright. Louis misses the tackle, which is highly unusual. And the Falcons now have the ball at the Denver 10.
White Shoes goes down the right flank. two tight ends in the game. Hand off to Riggs. He's tough down close, but so is the Bronco defense. There is a gain, though. On 1st and 10 from the 11, he's ahead for a gain of close to 4 yards. Jim Ryan was the first to hit him. The Giants have now opened up a 20-10 lead over the Cardinals in the third quarter at Giant Stadium. And the Eagles, winless so far, beating the heavily favored Redskins at Washington 16-6 in the fourth quarter. San Diego's come back to tie up Cincinnati. 68 points and counting still in the third quarter. Buffalo rallying, and the Bills are now down by 3 to New England. And here at Atlanta, Georgia, the Broncos in orange are holding to a 6-point lead. The Falcons are challenging. Second down, timing pattern into the end zone. White shoes can't get to the ball. It'll be third down. Steve Wilson covering him very well.
Excellent job. Excellent job in the coverage. Trying what's called a fade pattern in the NFL. Just a little juke by the receiver at the line of scrimmage. And then the quarterback tries to allow separation. New Orleans over Tampa, 20-6 in the third quarter. Brings up a big third down play here for the Atlanta Falcons.
Colts in Detroit. Tight game at the Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis. Colts leading by a single point. Here's the veteran, Bartkowski, setting his team down in a very big play. Third down from the 6-yard line of the Broncos. Up the middle. Touchdown Atlanta. White shoes. Johnson's in the end zone for a second time.
And they throw the flag on him again.
He could clear left. He'll give up the 5 yards to score a touch any time and celebrate it.
Interesting formation called by the Atlanta Falcons. Had Joe Washington in the backfield, ran him in motion to the far side of the field. That meant single coverage on White Shoes Johnson. Just a little slant over the middle. And with an extra point, the Atlanta Falcons go on top. There you see White Shoes Johnson right at the line of scrimmage. Bartkowski goes back, doesn't even set up a quick pass, and it's into the end zone.
So the game is tied at 27, and now Nick Luckhurst paces himself off and gets ready to hit it left foot to try to break the tie. And if he does, he'll give Atlanta its first lead of the game. The Falcons are in the lead with 7 seconds to play in the third quarter. As the veteran White Shoes Johnson is having a big day, catching balls from Bartkowski. 5 receptions for Billy Johnson, 91 yards and 2 touchdowns.
And now the pressure is really on the Denver Bronco offense to mount some kind of drive. The Atlanta Falcons got that ball inside the Denver Bronco 40 and very little yards to go for the touchdown. And the Broncos have allowed the Atlanta Falcons 0-2 to stay in this ball game.
White Shoes telling him how he did it. Easy.
Nothing to it. I've been open all day.
And so have a lot of Bronco receivers, and Elway's going to be going for them as soon as the Broncos get the ball back and go from scrimmage.
This Denver Bronco team 1-1 in this 1985 season. Already the troops are restless in Denver, but the Denver Broncos were 1-1 in 1984, then won 10 straight ball games. Ended up the AFC Western Division champions.
Phenomenal 13-3 record. But today they need a win to avert a 1-2 start. They have almost as many losses after 3 weeks.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Long way to go, though. And Elway has found ways to get the ball through that Atlanta Falcon pass defense. Elway passing through a lot of yards today. For the first time, the Falcons are in the lead. Here is the kickoff by Luckhurst. Darrell Wilhite comes out across the 30 and gets close to the 34-yard line as 2 guys started swinging. Quickly separated. Dean Miraldi was the swinging punches for the Denver Broncos in that one. So that will conclude the third quarter of play. We'll be back after these words from your local station.
Tonight, Paul Newman, Hill Street's Veronica Hamill, and Jacqueline Bissett. A lover's paradise
is almost incomparable when it comes to delivering the long ball. Bartkowski of the Falcons has done the same today. Elway looking long. Big rush. Gets it away, and a penalty marker is down on an incomplete pass to Gene Lang.
All day long, this Atlanta Falcons defensive line has been in Elway's face. The main reason, all the stunts they run. Watch those guys up front. See where they're going sideways? And the problem is the offensive linemen never really get a square hit on the defensive lineman. That time, Mike Pitts was once again in the face of John Elway. Flag down at the line of scrimmage.
Hey, the guy really getting a rush was the guy that the Broncos feared coming in, Mike Pitts, the defensive tackle from Alabama. He was in pursuit of Elway there, forced him to throw the errant pass.
Number 88 on the offense. Still first down.
Got Clarence Kay, the big tight end for the Broncos from the University of Georgia.
Down to this point, the Denver Broncos have 108 more total yards than the Atlanta Falcons, and yet they're behind by a point.
All game long, it was the Broncos who struck first. Then the Falcons would catch up. It was 7-0 Denver, then 7-7, 14-7 Denver, then 14-all, 21-14 Denver, then 21-all. Now it's 28-27, and here is Elway throwing a ball that hangs. It's coming back incomplete.
Flags down, interference, good call.
Sampson was running a long pattern, and it's ruled that he was held up.
That ball must have slipped out of John Elway's hand. That looked like a punt more than a pass. If Clint Sampson could have fair caught that one, I think they'd have been all right. But this was, unfortunately, on Wendell Kaysen, the penalty, his second big penalty.
Pass interference. Number 20 on the defense. First down.
But Don, I repeat, watch John Elway throw this ball. This slips out of his hand. Watch how high it goes. I mean, if he throws that thing long distance, I think Sampson's got a chance to catch it. But when the defensive back doesn't look back at the receiver, they're going to throw the flag.
So the penalty yardage is substantial against the Falcons, and the call is obviously booed at home here.
And they're going to add 15 more onto it for unsportsmanlike conduct. Two very expensive penalties now in the Atlanta Falcons, who physically have handled the Denver Broncos, but with dumb things like that, certainly allowed them to get right back in the game.
So let's see now if the Broncos can capitalize. Dan Henning might have thrown something at one of the officials. That's where the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty appeared to come from. So the Broncos, big gainers on the penalty yardage, and now they have the ball down at the 15-yard line of Atlanta. First and 10 for the Broncos, who trail by a point in the fourth quarter. Elway, with people in pursuit, gets the ball out to Winder, who's run down at the 11.
Once again, John Elway on his duck.
Viner just scored in a one-yard run for the Cleveland Browns, so they are on the board, but they're well behind Dallas, 20-7 with 5 minutes and a half left to play in that game. Pittsburgh is the final now. The Steelers blank the Houston Oilers 20-0. The Giants continue to lead the St. Louis Cardinals 20-10 in the fourth quarter. The Blues start up. Second down and 6 for the Broncos. Elway to Lang, and he's got room as he's down close to a first down. If he hits inside the 5-yard line, he might have enough for a first down.
Ran the trap again right up the middle. This is an excellent trapping team. Watch what happens. Right guard Winfred Hood pulls. There's the lane that you're looking for. Gene Lang, good tough runner all day long. The Denver Broncos have gone to the trap. Sometimes it's worked, sometimes it hasn't. That was an excellent pickup.
Close enough to measure as out come the chains as the game clock is stopped with a lot of time to go. 14:27 to play. So the Broncos now will have it first and goal. Lang has run the ball 12 times for Denver. He's gained 63 yards.
All they got to do now is make sure they hang on to that football, because the Falcons are going to be trying to get it.
Power formation for the Broncos. End up. Running hard is Lang. He's thrown back at the 2-yard line, but he got 3. Buddy Curry, the very quick middle linebacker for Atlanta, made the knockdown.
Backside trap that time, Rand. Rather interesting the way they did that, but it worked. Al Richardson there, 56. A little Kitchen is giddy up.
Long suit for the Atlanta linebackers is speed. They usually play off the ball, so they have room to run and tackle. But not down here. They've got to jump into the gaps to try to stop the thrust of the offensive line of Denver. Second down and goal now from 2 yards out. Broncos trailing by 1 early in the fourth quarter. Handoff, and Lang is in. Touchdown, Broncos, and Denver takes the lead.
That was an awfully well-executed play. The Atlanta Falcons defense has played spectacular football today, but with those 2 penalties, they only have 10 yards to go for a touchdown. That's a little more pressure on the defense than you like. Watch what happens. He reverses out. They fake the trap, and actually, Lang runs with very little blocking. A good block. Who is that? Studdard, 70.
Dean Miraldi, also in at left guard for the injured Keith Bishop, had a good block.
I think Studdard hits the middle linebacker, Jackson, and that freed Lang to go right in for the touchdown.
Extra point on the way and good by Rich Carlos, and so it is a 34-28 game. The Denver Broncos are back in the lead. And Denver will be kicking it off to Atlanta when we come back to Atlanta, Georgia.
Today's game is brought to you by Renault. European technology built in America. Make Renault the one to watch. By Radio Shack, the computer experts. And by Sears, where you'll find great values. There's more for your life at Sears.
If you like offense, you'll like this game today at Atlanta as the Broncos now kick it off to the Falcons. This is Cliff Austin for the Falcons to his 20 and out to maybe the 23-yard line. High-scoring game. The lead has now started to go back and forth as the game wears down with 13:23 to play in it. After the Broncos trail for the first time, 28-27, they come back on a touchdown play, greatly aided by penalty yardage against the Falcons. Right now, it's a 34-28 game.
That scoring play, the 2-yard run by Lang. Watch the trap up the middle. It starts with the center, Bryant. He gets the block on the backside. That is a well-executed play. Lang basically untouched until he's at the line of scrimmage. 4 plays, 67 yards, 1 minute and 35 seconds. Lang, now the game's leading rusher with 75 yards.
3 wide receivers in the game. They go to the run to the Falcons, and Gerald Riggs with 2 hands on the ball gets maybe to the 27. Reuben Carter, nose tackle for the Broncos, made the knockdown. Game clock runs down to 13:10 to play. Long way to go in this high-scoring game. The lead could continue to go back and forth. As we look at the baseball scoreboard in the National League East, Mets still trailing the Pirates now by 4 runs. Montreal and St. Louis tied. American League Eastern leader Toronto losing at Milwaukee in the 8th inning. The Yankees continue to lead Baltimore 3-0. Now on 2nd down and 7, here's a throw and a strike to White Shoes Johnson for a Falcon first down out to the 42-yard line, a 15-yard gain.
Well, it looked like his leg gave out on him. Steve Busick on the tackle. He runs a little slant pattern from the dirt part of this Fulton County Stadium. It's inside Ryan, and Bartkowski finds him. Now watch when he lands. It looks like his leg gives out, but he gets up and he's all right. First down Atlanta, and they're driving.
Falcons down by 6 points. Now going from the 41, first and 10. Riggs looks for room and finds it. And Gerald Riggs, who is a powerhouse back, is out to midfield. Somehow he got 8. He's just immensely powerful.
Second half, this Atlanta Falcon team has come alive. From behind the defense, watch the job the offensive line does. They do run a trap, and they get it done. Riggs is so powerful, runs so low to the ground, breaks the tackle of Foley. He's one of the best tacklers that the Denver Broncos have. Ken Woodard in to assist on the stop, not before a 9-yard pickup.
Steve Foley, not big, is 188 pounds, taking on the almost 230-pound fullback of Atlanta to slow him down. Back to the run they go. This time it is Cliff Austin running the ball. He's across midfield and very close to a first down. It was a 2nd down and about a yard and a half to go play. And he does have the first down, so the Falcons drive on, trailing in the game by 6 in the 4th quarter.
Austin's first carry of the ball game, a big first down pickup for the Atlanta Falcons. They started out this game with no first downs through the first quarter and a half, and the Denver Broncos had 9. It certainly changed a great deal. Now the Falcons squarely in this game.
Falcons needing a victory very badly. They've lost 11 of their last 12 games over the past 2 seasons. 1st and 10. Bartkowski airs it out. Out there is Johnson. Too much on it, but he had the defense beaten. And that meant he got a step on Louis Wright.
Good protection.
Real good.
The Falcons had run the ball so very well that the linebackers were at the line of scrimmage. Watch Ryan see him hold there at the line of scrimmage ever so slightly. See if those backs are going to go out. He doesn't miss many like that.
So they're back to the line of scrimmage now with a 2nd down and 10 coming up. Ball at the 48-yard line of the Broncos. Denver is leading 34-28 with 10:50 to play in the game. Speed goes out in the left flank. Very fast. Charlie Brown is out there now. Far side. Up the middle. The completion is made, and running with the ball and very nicely is Anthony Allen, a first-year wide receiver from Washington. Caught a touchdown pass a week ago against San Francisco. Tony Lilly, an extra defensive back in the game for the Broncos, knocked him down.
Mike Harden on the coverage. Really looks a little hurt. Looks like the Broncos are not going with their nickel package, but the Falcons just very happy to throw the ball 5 or 6 yards deep. Just keep the drive alive.
Both these teams have the capability to score so quickly and a lot of time left. The Falcons now measuring the run and the pass. Intermittent, and now they go back to the line of scrimmage with a 3rd down and 4 coming up. A very big play for both clubs at this point in the game.
Falcons 5 of 11 in 3rd down conversions.
Then it doesn't hit it. They'll have to punt the ball. Here's a long ball downfield, and Stacey Bailey is broken up beautifully by Louis Wright. Great defensive play by Wright. They blew it in Atlanta, but it was a Pro Bowl play.
Louis Wright in 1984 allowed just 1 touchdown pass to be thrown against him all season. Wright can stay with anybody. Kind of surprised at this choice of receivers. On a 3rd down and 5. Once again, both are looking back at the ball, so the officials this year are allowing more incidental contact. That's what it's called.
Falcons are going to go for it. 4th and 4.
You can see Bartkowski there with a crowd around him, very close to a completion, looking for the flag. He gets no flag. Come on, help us out there, ref. 4th down and 4 is right down.
Going to try to slip somebody underneath the Denver zone. 4th down and 4 for Atlanta. Falcons trailing by 6. Bartkowski takes a look, gets some time, throws the ball, and the play is made by Foley short of the 1st down. The Broncos take over the ball.
Big tackle by Foley. Billy White chooses Johnson, the receiver. He runs flat underneath the linebackers. They try to pick him. You see there, Ryan tries to stay with him. This is a huge tackle by Foley. Great timing.
Play.
Inside shoulder through that outside knee. Keeps him about what appears to be about 2 feet short of the 1st down. The Denver Broncos will take over.
A 10-year veteran from Tulane, a college quarterback, Steve Foley, makes yet another big play for the Bronco defense. 4th and 4. The Falcons went for it and almost had it as White Shoes was ready to turn and go upfield for the cross the yard marker. And then Foley, as you saw, shot in like a rocket to hit him. And the Broncos, with a 6-point lead, take over the ball.
As I said earlier, Steve Foley, one of the best tacklers on the Denver Bronco defense. And he certainly proved me correct there.
We'll be back after this.
Watching is believing. Look at...
The Atlanta Falcons, badly in need of a win, aren't going to play it safe. They are going to go all out to get John Elway in the football now if they can. Trailing the Broncos by 6 in the 4th quarter with a long way to go. 9:42 to play. Don Priggy with Bob Trumpy at Atlanta. It's 1st and 10 for the Broncos. Elway takes a look and fires and almost makes a connection to Clint Sampson, but it's broken up. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Thrown behind him. Sampson was clearly open. John threw it behind him. Nice roll here. Steve Sewell, number 30, right-hand side of the screen, makes a big block, stops 2 blitzers. But watch, this is a great picture. Yeah, that ball is thrown behind him ever so slightly. If he throws it out in front of him, that's an easy completion.
Bronco fans certainly remember vividly Trump at the Bronx were in command of the Rams, but a late fumble turned that game around, and Los Angeles went on to win. Right now, in the 4th quarter, the Broncos also leading the Falcons by 6, trying to move the chain markers, get some downs, and move the clock. Atlanta fighting for the ball. 2nd and 10. Here's Elway. Markers down all over, and so is the ball off the hands of Gene Lang.
Tight end lined up offside. Clarence Kay, number 88, lined up offside.
They'll probably take 3rd and 10 rather than 2nd and 15, won't they?
Yeah, that's just a mental error. That's the 2nd time he's lined up offside.
Lined up in the neutral zone. Number 88 of the offense. That penalty is declined. It's 3rd down.
You called it, Don. 3rd down.
Nice touch of Dixie in the voice of referee Red Cashin. Here's a final in from Washington, and it's an upset. The Eagles have upset the Redskins. 19-6, Philadelphia with its first win of the year.
Randall Cunningham was the starting quarterback today for the Philadelphia Eagles, 2 out of Nevada, Las Vegas. Jaws still on the bench.
Got 4 field goals from McFadden Eagles to win that game. Now the Broncos go with a big down. Wide receiver set to either side. Elway sets himself at his 34 in the shotgun. Blitz. Elway gets it away, and he's got Vance Johnson for a first down. Superb play by the Broncos under pressure. They get the first down on 3rd and 10.
That's a huge play. Elway saw the blitz coming. Watch the linebackers. Richardson hits his untouched. Elway does a great job of getting away from it. Throws on the run where he's most dangerous. And watch Vance Johnson. Oh, great job. Just getting enough yardage up the field for the first down. Coaches look for that in a receiver. Teach that. Coach that. You try for the extra 2 feet to get that first down. That's a big 3rd down conversion.
John Elway is 17-9 as a starter over his career for the Denver Broncos. Here he goes on a handoff to Gene Lang. There's not much there on first down, but there's some. They're down at the Falcons side of the field, down to the 48-yard line.
Tell you what, I can't give enough credit to the Atlanta Falcons, though. Going into this ball game, to repeat what we said at the outset of the program, this week they put 3 defensive backs on the injured reserve list. Brought in 3 guys who last week were watching the NFL somewhere on a television. They bring them in. One starts today, Wendell Kaysen. This defense has played outstanding in the face of a very good offensive team.
Yesterday's Atlanta practice, some of the defensive coaches were actually walking these newcomers through the defenses, showing them where to go one day before playing the Elway passing game. 2nd down and 8 now for the Broncos. Big blitz. Elway eludes it again, and he's got Watson for a first down. John Elway with his adroit footwork and a great right arm, gunning the ball 11 yards over here to Steve Watson. It's a first down now for the Broncos.
Wendell Kaysen on the coverage, but you can just see once again John Elway improvised. Gann, untouched 76. He jumps inside of him, almost falling down. Still got that high-powered rifle, and Atlanta Falcons jumped right in the middle of his back as he stepped over him, but the pass complete to Watson for a first down.
He's taken some hits, but he's made some big throws, and that one to Watson was for a first down. Watson's caught 4 for 81. On first down, Sammy Winder runs into the middle of the Atlanta defense. He gets some yards close to the 32-yard line. Lawrence Pillars knocked him down. Broncos now running the clock. Game clock down to 8:25 and running. We're in the 4th quarter at Atlanta Stadium. 34-28 is the score. The Broncos lead the Falcons after not that long ago. Atlanta had taken a 28-27 lead. 82 points and counting in the 4th quarter. 3:45 left to play. Dan Faust just threw to Lionel Little Train James, and that was good for 60 yards and a Charger touchdown to tie it. 41-41. Handoff. Lang, both arms on the ball, is down to the 30. Good hitting from the Atlanta defense. Coming up to make the play, 27, Tom Pridemore, one of the safeties in the middle. Linebacker Buddy Curry was also on the stop, number 50.
Sammy Winder, the Denver Broncos' only 84 Pro Bowler. Interesting that in 1984, the Broncos averaged almost 130 yards rushing a game. Coming into this ball game today, they'd average just 84 yards rushing a ball game in 85.
You were pointing out earlier, Trump, through the first 2 games, the Falcons were outscored 49-12 in the second half. They've outscored the Broncos 14-13 in the second half today. Here's a throw, incomplete. It'll bring up 4th down now for the Denver Broncos. They'll lead the game 34-28 with 7:16 to go.
Thrown right into the ground. John is mad at himself. There's the final score. Dallas over Cleveland 20-7.
Cowboys up their record to 2-1. Browns fall to 1-2.
John Elway is very tough on himself. And if the final score remains the same, 34-28, the Broncos will have won a football game when their star, John Elway, has not performed particularly well. He's missed some open receivers, missed one there.
This is going to be a 47-yarder for Rich Karlis. He's been perfect on 2 previous tries from 42 and 25 yards away. And of course, if he hits it, it'll give the Broncos a 9-point lead. He's got plenty of distance, and he's good. A big hit by Rich Karlis. And the Broncos open up a 9-point lead, 37-28 with 7 minutes and 11 seconds left to play in the game. Karlis will be kicking it off to the Falcons when we come back.
For over 300 place here, Miami.
It's high noon whenever Dan Marino comes to town as one of the deadliest right arms in the league heads west.
The NFL plays here at Denver.
For John Elway, it's an historic first showdown as Elway duels Marino in this Rocky Mountain shootout.
The Dolphins battle the Broncos. The action starts with NFL 85.
There's the inspiration of the Denver Broncos defense. Tom Jackson out with a knee injury.
Here's the kickoff. It's bobbled by Austin a couple of times. Now he picks it up, and he is in deep trouble. Out across his 10-yard line, so the Falcons down by 9 get the ball 1st and 10, but way in their own end.
Tom Jackson there on the sideline for years been the inspiration of that Denver Bronco defense. They expect him back in about 4 or 5 weeks. His replacement, Woodard, has played very, very well, but Jackson is one of those special people that you need on the football field to add inspiration to the ball club. He's sorely missed.
Jackson, they call him. He's been doing it a long time and very well to 3 Pro Bowls for Denver, but on the sideline now with an injury as the Falcons come out of the huddle. 1st down and 10. The ball positioned at their 13-yard line. Bartkowski and company trailing the Broncos by 9. 7 minutes to play in the game. Riggs gets out to the 20-yard line. He got almost 7 yards. Woodard knocked him down. Bartkowski is a quarterback who doesn't get rattled. He'll wait and look over the whole field. He needs a big hit now. Here's a final score as the Buffalo Bills record falls to 0-3, losing to New England 17-14. Kay Stevenson, the Buffalo coach, very much under pressure. Indianapolis looking for a first win, leading their game with Detroit. That's the final now. Indianapolis, the Colts win their first game under Rod Dowhauer. As the Falcons go to the run, that draws some boos as they're down by 9. Didn't get much, if anything at all, and it brings up 3rd down and 2. Dan Henning, who's got to be an anxious coach in his 3rd year of a 3-year contract, with an 11-23 overall record, but with the team, as you pointed out, Trump, hit with an inordinate number of injuries.
Yeah, last year, career-ending injuries for some. William Andrews, they think, will be back, but he's very hurt. White Shoes Johnson out. Bartkowski out. This year, it's the defense.
Bartkowski's thrown the ball 26 times. Look at this. They go to the run, and they get the 1st down. Power back, Gerald Riggs goes right straight at the Denver defense. Mecklenburg knocked him down, but it is a Falcon 1st down.
At the outset of this ball game, we commented with the strength of the Atlanta Falcons offensive line. Let's take a look at John Scully, one of the offensive linemen up front, with Van Note, 162 years old, still playing center. That's a good hole for Gerald Riggs to pop up through there.
162 years old.
Well, I may be a little overestimated.
Here's a throw to Stacey Bailey, and he holds on and loses the ball. That should be a free ball. It is a Bronco football. Bailey had it down to the 40, and then the Broncos, who are so expert at separating the man from the ball, do it again. Team that forced 55 turnovers last season forces one of the biggest of the day here.
30-yard catch. He was absolutely hammered. Bartkowski pumps to the outside. Look at the coverage here. Bailey catches it. Harden underneath him. Foley once again. No, excuse me. Lilly just hammers the ball loose. The recovery by Harden. Denver ball.
Big defensive play by the Broncos, and they get the ball back, leading the game by 9 with 5:04 to play.
That's exactly the way the Denver Broncos have played for so many years. Turn that ball over and allow the offense maybe half the field to drive for a touchdown as the Atlanta faithful are heading home.
This would be a very big win for the Broncos as they head home for a tough one next Sunday against the Miami Dolphins at Mile High Stadium. The Broncos, if they hold on, would go to 2-1. They go to the run now as Sammy Winder picks his way across the 40 and gets to the 42-yard line. Didn't get much. The Broncos now huddling at their leisure. Move the clock. It's down to 4:52 and running. Atlanta has 3 timeouts remaining. The Broncos have 2. Right now, the Broncos want to keep that clock moving as Elway brings his team very leisurely into a huddle. First quarter score, the 49ers, before 92,000 at the Coliseum, have gone out in front of the Raiders 7-0 in the first quarter. Talk about 2 clubs that don't like each other. Elway on 2nd and 9, throwing a long ball that'll be allowed out. Nobody was near it. Watson ran a turnout pattern. Elway threw deep, and it's incomplete. 3rd down and 9 arises for the Broncos.
Miscommunication between the receiver and the quarterback. And from the looks of John Elway, he may have been the one mistaken. Well, the plus is your quarterback has not played a particularly good game, and people look for stupendous stats out of John Elway, and your team is winning by 9 points.
Atlanta Falcons will be at Los Angeles at Anaheim to play the Rams next Sunday. And the way it looks now, they'll go into that game 0-3. They're fighting hard on the Falcons to get it back, though. This is 3rd and 9. Elway standing in, throws hard. He's got his man for a first down. Clint Sampson coming up underneath the zone, makes another big catch. And the Broncos get 4 new downs, a 17-yard gain, and the clock is ticking down close to 4 minutes to play.
Coverage man was Reggie Pleasant. Another one of those young guys. Good pass protection. The Atlanta Falcons came with a blitz once again. Gerald Wilhite, a great block. 2 blocks, actually. One on a defensive back and one on a linebacker. Sampson open underneath the coverage. Big first down.
The Broncos, together football team, had their leads a number of times in this game, then saw the Falcons take a 1-point lead, but the Broncos came right back. Now they're running the clock with a 9-point lead. Here's a guy that can run the ball, Sammy Winder, taking it down to the 38-yard line. And the game clock winds down inside of 3:25 to play and running. So the Broncos move on, holding to a 9-point advantage. A victory would give them a 2-1 record, and the Atlanta Falcons, who've led their 2 previous games at the half, but were unable to do much in the second half, did in this game. They came back strong in the 3rd quarter. They took a 1-point lead over Denver, then lost it, and now the Broncos with Elway at the controls will run the ball again. Lang on 2nd down and about 4, doesn't get much. Down to the 36-yard line.
And you know, throughout this entire football game, we've not seen an awful lot of the 2 tight end set that Dallas has run over the last couple of years. There's a final 44-41. The San Diego Chargers over Cincinnati. 85 points.
Bob Thomas, the former Chicago Bear, hit a field goal to win it for the Chargers, 44-41. They need 44 points to win a ball game. Last weekend they gave up 49 to Seattle.
And lost.
Now the Falcons, with 2 timeouts remaining, have stopped the clock with 2 minutes and 50 seconds left to play. When the Broncos go back into alignment, it'll be 3rd down and 3. Dan Henning, the Atlanta coach, saw his team play spirited football despite all the injuries. But again, it looks like the Falcons are going to come up short to a team most clubs do come up short to.
At the outset of the ballgame, Don, you said that the Atlanta Falcons, with that nicked-up defensive backfield, would put an awful lot of pressure on John Elway, try to stay in his face all day. They have. Because of that, this kind of pieced-together defensive backfield, in my estimation, has done a pretty darn good job against the Denver Broncos. Now, they've given up a couple of big plays. The first touchdown, the long pass to Butch Johnson, that was or to Steve Watson, when the young man bid on the play-action fake and thought that Elway was going to run. For the bulk of the game, though, the Atlanta Falcons defensive backs, with a lot of help from the defensive line, have done a good job.
They really have. You had to admire the way Kaysen made some very big plays. The young cornerback who was picked up, called on to start today due to all the injuries, and he knocked down a couple of balls that would have gone for touchdowns for Denver. He was also victimized a few times, as right now it is 3rd down and 3. Let's see what Elway does. Pick up the blitz, pitch back to Winder. He's running hard, and he has a first down for the Broncos. See where they spot the ball. It looked like he had enough to get down to the 32-yard line. Now let's see where they spot it, though.
Looks like it's going to be very close. The Broncos today have been very good on third down conversions. Almost 50%. That's something that last year they would have certainly been thankful for. Just a third of the third downs that they had last year they converted.
Out come the yard markers now, a most important measurement, because this would just about cook the Atlanta Falcons. It's a first down for Denver, so the Broncos get 4 more downs, move the chain markers, and the Broncos will go into a huddle leading in the game by 9 points, 37-28. Scoreboard in baseball changing somewhat. Mets continue to lose to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Montreal now back in front of the St. Louis Cardinals 4-2. Final Eastern leader Toronto of the American League beaten by Milwaukee 2-1, while the second place Yankees are leading Baltimore 5-1. Kansas City and California having a good go in the West. California could take the lead today. Gerald Wilhite is in the game, puts 2 hands on the ball and takes it down to the 30-yard line of Atlanta. New Orleans and Tampa Bay, 2 winless teams hooking up today at the Superdome, and right now with a minute to play, a touchdown pass by Steve DeBerg has given the lead here with 2:01 to play. Now 2 minutes warning given. So we'll be back right after this.
AT&T.
Miami Dolphins, Marino versus Elway. Right now, though, 2nd down and 6 is coming up for Denver. Trump?
I'd like to have a ticket to see that game. See these 2 kids, Marino and Elway, go after each other. The first quarterback taken and the last quarterback taken in the first round of 1983.
But both taken in the first round.
It'll be bragging rights at the end of that game.
2nd down now. 2 minutes to play in the game. Back to the run, and here comes Lang as he's thrown down back at the 31-yard line. And the clock continues to tick down to 1:50 to play. Time running out on the Atlanta Falcons, who have to get the ball back. They're down by 9 points, 37-28. It was 21-14 Denver at halftime, but Atlanta rallied to take a second-half lead, 28-27. Then the Broncos came back. Raiders just hit a field goal. Chris Barr kicked one after a Montana to Roger Craig pass put the 49ers in front. The Jets have gone in front of Green Bay 7-0 on Ken O'Brien's pass to Tony Page. Third down now for the Broncos. Elway goes long to the end zone. Butch Johnson is there, and Butch Johnson has it for a Bronco touchdown. Elway with 2 fists raised in the air, and Butch Johnson comes down with the ball, and this one is history. Falcons fought hard, but the Broncos had too much. Elway hitting the big plays when he had to. 3rd and long, and he goes for it all and gets it. A 31-yard touchdown pass play.
This is a well-thrown pass. Good protection by the offensive line, and then it's all up to Butch Johnson. Over Wendell Kaysen. Butch goes up for it. Cradle catch. Looks like Willie Mays.
He gets up.
Got it.
There it goes. He gives the California glide after this. He used to have the California quake. Now it's the orange glide, I guess he calls it. A new move by Butch as he gets up. Watch him. Just like they like it. Not taunting. Butch Johnson something else. Here is the kick up and good by Carlos, and all of a sudden the Broncos have blown the game open. 1:11 left to play. We'll be back.
These old-fashioned shingles have worn out.
All of a sudden here at Atlanta with the long touchdown throw from John Elway to Butch Johnson. It's a 44-28 game. The Broncos are in the lead. With only 1 minute and 10 seconds left to play, in desperation, the Falcons hope to make something happen, but they too know it is too little too late, no matter what Bartkowski and the offense can do now. 66 ticks left on the clock, and the Falcons about to go 0-3 on the year, heading against the Rams at Anaheim next Sunday. New quarterback in the game, and he's a good one, young player from Iowa State. Dave Archer, who was the Big 8 total offense leader as a collegian in '83.
Scoring drive by the Denver Broncos. 9 plays, 59 yards, 3 minutes and 53 seconds. The last 31. Elway to Butch Johnson.
Archer will be running and throwing as far as he can. Very mobile. Stands in. Throws it downfield. Incomplete. It'll be second down and 10. Anthony Allen, first-year player from Washington, was the intended receiver. Finals now coming in from around the National Football League on this third Sunday of play. The Giants have beaten the St. Louis Cardinals 27-17 to gain a share of first place. There's three co-leaders in the NFC East: the Giants, the Cowboys, and the Cardinals. New Orleans under Bun Phillips wins its first game of the year. Lehman Bennett, coach at Tampa Bay, now 0-3 since he's gone there. Former Atlanta coach. Archer running and throwing, and he's got a man. And the knockdown is made at the 44-yard line. Broncos giving the short pass and then closing quickly.
Charlie Brown, the receiver, and Woodard again on the tackle. Quick offense here by the Atlanta Falcons to try to come up with a 16-point play.
Alema Matthews, one of the H-backs, gets the ball and gets across midfield on first down as the clock continues to tick down to 27 seconds to play.
Falcons have lost 12 of their last 13 games, but they played well today. They played very, very well.
Archer loops the ball out. Too much. And the clock is stopped with 15 seconds to play. He was looking at Anthony Allen. So Dan Reeves and the Broncos are going to have a happy long trip back to Denver. Across the way, Dan Henning, the coach of the Falcons, feels the pressure build in his third year. He talked earlier about his reaction to questioners. Do you feel your job is on the line? He said every coach is in the first and last year of a contract. No matter how many years you have left, you can still go at any time. This is his final year of a 3-year contract. As Archer throws in the flat, he's got a man open. Wilk Brown taking the ball down, and he's inside the 30 and down to the 25. Clock continues to run, and that's going to do it. The final numbers are up. It is the Denver Broncos beating the Atlanta Falcons 44-28. Wait, before it's over, there's 3 seconds left, and the Falcons call a timeout. They want to see if Archer can get him in the end zone. So it's not official yet, but it is a win for Denver.
Well, the Denver Broncos have come up with some big plays today. They couldn't really drive the ball on a consistent basis, but they did come up with very big plays, and at one point scored on 4 of 5 drives they had.
So Archer, the young quarterback, comes over, and when it was all said and done, it was the Falcon defense, suspect at best, coming in, giving up a lot of points to Elway in the passing game of Denver.
And the big plays by Butch Johnson, a couple of big penalties too. The game was still in doubt when a pass interference penalty against the Atlanta Falcons, and then an additional unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against the Atlanta Falcons bench put the Denver Broncos into the end zone, and that seemed to change the personality of the ball game, Don.
John Elway had some rough moments in the game. He was knocked down a lot of times. He showed his mettle, coming back time and again, standing in against a big Atlanta pass rush. Nothing wrong with the defensive line of the Falcons as Archer on the final play of the game looks to throw, and he's going to be sacked. So that is it. Getting the sack was Andre Townsend to conclude a Denver Bronco victory. Final score, the Broncos 44, the Falcons 28. Wild game, a lot of points, and a disappointed Dan Henning heads to the locker room with yet another loss.
If you're a Denver Bronco fan, I'm sure you've seen John Elway play a lot better at times, but he still was able to get the job done. An excellent pass to Butch Johnson, put it out of reach. And when he had to reach back and come up with a big play, John Elway did and seems to have that ability.
And Elway Trump continues his 3 touchdown passes a game average. He's got 9 through the first 3 games. That, you may recall, is what Dan Marino averaged last regular season when he threw a record 48. It is the Denver Broncos beating the Atlanta Falcons 44-28. Now Denver heads back home to go against the Miami Dolphins next Sunday in a game many of you will see as part of an NBC Sports doubleheader. Marino versus Elway. The Atlanta Falcons 0-3 head to the Anaheim, California stadium.